In this video, you'll learn how to draw a perfect circle, straight line and arcs, and how to use these techniques to create other shapes like squares and rectangles. They're also known as quick shapes. First, I'm going to open a new canvas. I'm going to just make it screen size for now. And then I'm going to make sure that my preferences are set correctly. So I'm going to tap on this icon here in the corner. I've clicked on preferences here. And then I'm going to go to gesture controls, and on quick shape here I can see that my draw and hold is on, so that's fine. That's exactly what we want. Now I'm gonna select a color from the color wheel. I'm going to double tap in this corner here to make it black. That's another tip. And then I'm going to select a brush from my calligraphy set called Monoline. Let's start with a circle. So if I want to draw a circle, it will look like that. What I did was I just pressed and held down on the canvas to make that happen. And as you can see, it's not a perfect circle at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Edit Shape, and it gives me two options. It says ellipse or it's a circle. So when I press circle, it turns into a perfect circle. I'll show that again. Ellipse means slightly oval, and I can edit it like this and make it smaller if I wanted to make a long oval like this, or if I want to press circle, then it will go back to a perfect circle. So now if I press outside of the circle, it will stay that way. Then, because I'm on this layer, I can move it sideways. For my next example, I'm going to add a new layer just above it, and I'm going to show you how to draw a straight line. So this is a normal line that I just drew by hand, but I don't want normal lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a normal line and hold, and that created a straight line. Now, as you can see, it says Edit Shape. There's two options here. There's line, so I can make it shorter or longer, and there's also arc. So what that's done is given me a third point in the middle here, which I can now edit. So I can make that go up and around, smaller, bigger, a bit longer, a bit like a parabola in maths. If you did maths, you'll know what I'm talking about. You can get various different results here. But I want to go back to line. So that's my line done. Now that line is completely straight. So if I wanted to create a triangle, then I'm just drawing freely and I hold down, and now it says triangle created at the top there. Now if I want to edit it, I can edit the shape. There's three options. There's triangle. I can make it a longer triangle this way, make it more scalene or isosceles. I can make it a right angle triangle or judge it by eye as best as I can. That's the way you can edit a triangle. If I press quadrilateral, then it will give me a lot more options, a lot more points, as you can see. And this weird thing starts to happen because I didn't draw that line, so Procreate is creating an extra line there for me. And if I start to drag out the points, instead of staying as a triangle, it will start to become a trapezium, different types of shapes that are quadrilateral. And if I press polyline, I've got a bit more freedom than triangle, because I can break the triangle and the triangle will come apart like this. So if I wanted to make this line longer, if I wanted to make this one longer, make this one shorter, maybe I wanted an open triangle so I can connect these two dots. But for now, I'm going to go back to triangle. I'm going to try and make this equilateral and judge it by eye like that. And I'm going to tap out. I'm going to hide that and show you how to make a perfect square. So let's say I'm drawing lines normally, but I'm holding down and it says Edit Shape. As you can see, it's not a perfect square, even though the lines have become straight. So at the moment, it's giving me the option of polyline we know that what that does, that can be moved around. This one is square, so it's telling me that my top line is not long enough to meet the other two. So at the moment, all it's doing is letting me scale it up and down. If I try to touch these corners, it will go to quadrilateral. And if I press rectangle, it's also not going to let me join these two lines. So instead, what I'm going to do is stick to polyline and join it like that. And that way you can get a much better looking square. Another way of getting a square, which is a lot more accurate, is by using the selection tool. So what you do is you press this button right here, and it's giving me a range of options at the bottom. So I've got it set on ellipse right now. If I wanted to draw a circle, it won't be a perfect circle, but it will be a circle. If I can change that, I can change it to rectangle, and that will give me a perfect rectangle. If I wanted to draw a square, I can just drag and draw a square. At the moment, I've got color fill on, but if I took it off, as you can see, or you may not be able to see, but the shapes that I just drew have still been selected. So I'm going to put it back on so that you can still see it. There's also freehand selection. So if I wanted to draw a triangle and fill that in, it's right there. But as you can see, it is not neat and it is not precise because it's not a setting given by Procreate. So that's that. I'm going to take this away now. As we drew the perfect circle earlier, we can now use any color from the color wheel to fill our shapes in. Let's say I'm going back to the circle layer and I want to fill it in. It will fill in quite easily because the line is completely closed. Similarly, if I have the square and I want to fill it in, and I want to fill it in with a certain blue, can't fill that in because you know why? I'm not on the right layer. Now I've changed the layer and I can fill it in. Now the triangle, I'm going to drag that above just so that we can see it. And I'm going to move it to make a more interesting arrangement. Now let's say I wanted to fill it in yellow. I'm going to go to the triangle layer, then I'm going to go to this colour wheel, fill it in yellow. And as you can see, all these shapes are being filled because they are closed lines. Now if I wanted to make this a little bit more interesting into, you know, something a bit less primary school and a bit more work of art, then I could also try to look at the blending modes of this. So darker colour, linear burn, that's just created a green. Colour burn, it removes the yellow. Darken, multiply. Or if we go to the other side, we've got normal, lighten, screen, colour dodge, add, lighter colour, overlay. Overlay kind of mixes the front two colours, which is why yellow and blue make this green triangle. Soft light, hard light, vivid light, linear light, pin light, hard mix difference, exclusion, subtract, divide, hue, saturation, colour and luminosity. I quite liked the effect of hard light because it gave us a little bit of that see-throughness, but it also gave us that dimension of the extra colour of orange. Let's see if we can make this red circle more interesting. Dark colour, colour burn, multiply, screen, colour dodge, lighter colour. So this is going to be a lot harder because it's based on a white background and nothing's underneath it. So if we leave that as normal and change the blending mode of the blue square, then we can actually get a result. As you can see here, darken, multiply, add, lighter colour, hard light, linear light. It's kind of like looking through a stained glass window. Hard mix, difference, exclusion, subtract, divide, hue, saturation, color, luminosity. Again, I'm gonna go for linear light because I just think that looks more fun. And there you have it. I think there's a little red dot on this, so we'll dot that out. And there you have it. That is how you draw shapes in Procreate and how you can create more seamless lines and fill them in to create a work of art. Of course, this can do with a lot more work, but this was only done for tutorial purposes only. So thank you for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please do like, subscribe and share it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.